right, welcome back. Now, although we are in the 21st century, much poverty still exists in Kenya. Many live in inhumane conditions with water problems, no health care, poor shelters, no electricity, and very little access to the few schools within their own area. Seeking help from the government is seeking help from you and me, and that's why we are holding court this morning with Smita Shah and Manisha Dave, both from who are trustees from Amara Charitable Trust, to tell us more about charity and the general issues around philanthropy. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
A group of 6 Indian ladies who have big heart for children and women. Tell us, how did you embark on this journey? Maybe if you can start with you, Smita.
You talked about Indian, you mean Kenyan women. How did we embark on it? Amara Trust, the chairperson, Vashawara, is the one who actually found this place. She took us to see the place, and we realized that it really needed a lot of help.
Mm-hmm.
There was so much to do. We didn't know where to start.
Mm-hmm.
It was overwhelming, but we had to do something for the area, especially, you know, when you see children who are not eating, who have hardly got any education, and they don't have the need to study because there's no food in their stomach. So we just felt we had to do something for them. That's how we got into the picture. And I remember the first time when I actually went to that place, we were there for a couple of hours, and I remember tears just would not stop rolling down because it was really in such bad shape. So all of us, 6 of us, decided that we had to make a difference. Yeah.
Right. Now, Manisha,
Yeah.
Amara, does it have any particular meaning? Why you choose Amara to be the name of this organization?
Amara is a Kiswahili word meaning united labor and helping hands. And then, like Smita said, that apart from just helping with the food and textbooks and all that, we all felt it was much better to have school structures, and hopefully they'll still be standing 50 years down the road. So the 6 of us then sat down and thought in what areas we would like to create an impact or help in that particular area. The school we chose was the Kwalusia School.
Kwalusia School.
Yes, it's a primary school. It was an old rancher's home. And the standard 1 to 4 were in stables, which were condemned buildings. They still are condemned. And luckily we've had good response in terms of donors who've been consistent and very helpful. So we've sort of to date spent over 10 million on building stores, dining room, a kitchen, 5 classrooms, pit latrines. And what the school is going to do, at the same time, Amara's mission, apart from building school structures and educating the children or creating a conducive environment where children can go to school, is also to empower the community around. So the parents have sort of grown with us in terms of taking on the responsibility to do fundraising for a Harambe and build the secondary school.
Yes.
Right. So far, do you really hail it a success, and for how long have you been in existence, Smita?
We've been there for the last 3 years.
For the last 3 years.
And definitely it's been a success, because when we started off, I mean, we started in a small way because we just didn't know how to start. We started with small things like guttering and tree planting and water tanks. But now with the construction, we'll be finishing construction of 5 classrooms. We've already done the kitchen, the dining area, which is really used by the secondary school from this year. The borehole, which we did start, but we failed. So the government came in so to help us out. So they've got another borehole hole, and definitely that's success. People have hope now. Initially when we started, it was like that people had not been given any attention at all, and finally they feel that we are there to hold their hands. Yeah. We see progress in the education system. It used to be among the bottom in that area. Last year with the results, they've come top in that district, which is really encouraging. Children have increased in number. It's over 200 kids now in that school from 130. So that's success for us.
Yeah, it is. It is. It really goes to show that a little attention can actually egg the children there to really
Definitely.
The children themselves, isn't it?
Yeah.
So happy to be to school.
And also, I think with us having started giving them uji at breakfast time, it has given them that incentive as well that they need to be there. And maybe
So you provide porridge daily, I'm given to
every day
understand.
for the last 3 years.
For the last 3 years,
Yeah,
without
and
fail.
Without fail, and it's got to be there because kids can only study well when there's food in their stomachs.
It's true. It's true.
So for us, I think the success is the construction which is there. It's really encouraging to see that, you know, how we started and where we've reached. And with the government coming in to help us in different, supporting us in different ways. Like with the borehole, they've come in because they've seen there's progress in that area. We're also having a dispensary built there because there's no medical facilities around there. So people have hoped that, you know, in a radius of about 50 kilometers, there's been no healthcare facility. So that will be provided for them. So that's progress for us, really. It's a success for us. And of course, support from the health authorities as well. They've promised that they'll be giving us a clinical officer, nurses, drugs. So that's success for us. Yeah.
Well, in terms of capacity building, I'm hearing a lot that you are actually doing them in their own lives, the students or the pupils right there. What else are you doing aside from giving them education and porridge from the school dining halls?
Yeah. I think one of Amara's very strong mission is to empower the community around. And we have a lot of affinity with the women groups there. And most of the children at the Kwalusia school come from single parent homes. Most of the single parents being mums. So the way the parents have sort of started helping is, for example, if we would bring the poles, they would help with the fencing, take more commitment. And as we've grown over the last 2 years, you know, they're sort of taking part in planting seedlings when they can. Once the borehole is functional, they are hoping to create a water committee where they'll be able to sell the water to the surrounding homesteads, and the monies collected will then help to sustain the school. So it's as we are sort of helping them with the funding and various areas, we are also involving the parents to help where they can. Sometimes they bring in the sand when they can, or help with, like I said, the fencing, the guttering. We've had various schools in Nairobi donate their furniture, which they're not using. So the parents have taken over refurbishing the furniture or making different lockers and things out of the wood, which they've removed from the broken furniture and things like that. So I think as we are growing together, the community around is being more empowered. They're more hopeful and taking on more responsibility to help with the school so that their children can be going there more frequently and have a better education. They started contributing some funds, 100 shillings or 200 shillings, whatever they can, and they've employed their own extra 2 teachers and a caretaker. So I think that way there's a lot of help from the parents' side. So they are empowering, they're showing that they're willing to take more responsibility. And initially Amara had thought that we'd go all the way and build the secondary schools. But now we feel that the community there is ready to build at least 1 or 2 classes with the parents fundraising. The teachers have become more responsible. You know, initially when we started in 2008, 2009, the attendance of the teachers was pretty erratic because they used to live very far and stuff like that. And then children are walking for 10 kilometers to come to school, barefoot and things like that. So there wasn't a lot of organization, so to speak. But there is more dedication now. The teachers, the children, the parents, all of them are now working together with Amara to enhance the life at the Kwalusia school and the community. And they're actually feeling very proud to have the dining hall, which is one of the only schools in that area which has a dining hall. So we're observing more ownership and more responsibility from the local community. And we have Mzee Mwilu, who's very close to Smita, who sort of overlooks and guides the teachers and the parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm interested, Manisha mentioned about, talked about the single parents in that particular area. Is it because maybe we are having younger girls who are becoming parents at a very tender age, and what is really happening in time in terms of actually trying to come up with ways of making them be aware about the contraceptives that they're there, and maybe using condoms as far as maybe sexual matters are concerned?
Recently we've actually had workshops for girls, and girls from 3 schools came up, and we had a professional who came to talk about various issues about you know, sometimes because they're so poor, little things like a mandazi would sort of get them into sexual activity. Yeah. So we've talked to them about all these various issues as to how important education is. Yes, contraception, but that should be sort of, you know, education should come first. So a lot of workshops hopefully will come by. We also need to have workshops for boys as well, just to educate them more that all these things do happen. You know, and also single parents, meaning quarry minors, their life expectancy probably would be a little less. Or sometimes they're so poor that, you know, the families are abundant. So single parent families, I mean mothers being the backbone of their families, there's a limit as to how much they can do. So we also need to have workshops for parents as well, to educate them and also part with their values to the children as well.
Yeah. Now, in terms of course, now we are going to the counties, and I'm wondering, of course, Amara will grow and be a big organization. What is your vision way forward? Are you just trying to train your focus along Lukenya area, or maybe you want to grow this organization into a very big organization that percolates even down to the counties?
Yes, it would be a good goal to have. Currently, we are looking in at areas around Nairobi, 100-kilometer radius, where as we are growing and becoming more confident, we are able to go and visit the site. Like currently, we go every month or twice a month. There's 6 of us, so between the 6 of us, you know, at least 2 of us are there twice a month. As we get more confident and more experienced in doing this kind of structures, yes, we would like to move further up and join hands with other charities. Like Smita mentioned, the workshops. The workshop given to the teen girls was by the Single Mothers Association. So we would like more to join hands with other organizations to help us spread our wings wider within different counties of Kenya. We have other organizations who want to talk about permaculture. Apart from just building school structures and helping to empower the community within that area, Amara's goal and vision is to have holistic schools which are self-sufficient, independent, where because of the schools, the parents and the wider community is also involved. In terms of looking at eco schools, in terms of looking at schools which will do academically very well, in terms of having more girls attending schools rather than dropping out. Like what has happened, what we've observed at Kwalusia is we have a good number of girls from standard 1 to 5, even up to 6. When it comes to standard 8, there's only 1 or 2 girls, and even then the attendance is not very consistent. We've seen an improvement over the last 2 years, and we are hoping that that improvement will grow. So as we are focusing on the girl child, we also would like to empower the boys as well. And that is happening more and more as we work with women's groups. So we've worked with various women's groups, again in the Lukenya and Buoni area, where we are sort of interacting with them, where we teach them skills on how to do craft work and quilting and things like that to generate income. and they in return sort of are opening up to Amara and asking where we can sort of help them market their wear and all that. So it would be nice to have various organizations who could help us in those kind of areas.
Right.
Yeah.
We can see on the screens there, that is a construction that was ongoing, or is it up right now? It is the dining hall, the picture that we had just there.
That is
Yeah,
the
that's the
dining
That
dining,
is the dining hall.
which is used by the secondary school from this year, because there's no extra classroom. So to get the secondary school, because standard 8 who finished, they've got an ongoing thing, they can start onto the secondary school. In that area, out of 28 secondary schools, primary schools, there are only 7 secondary schools. So the need for the secondary school, so that's why they're using
So that is a site that was there before?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the construction of the dining
Okay.
area.
Then also, do you supply the uniforms?
Yes, we do.
And we do have donors. We've
Okay.
had some good donors who've sort of supplied with shoes and uniforms. So as and when we do have them, yes.
Right. Yeah, talking of donors, how are you roping in the donors to really try and assist you in this? Because I know it's such a Herculean task to really try and
Yeah.
sustain this project.
I think perseverance or persistence, because we know that this is something we need to do to continue with our work. But generally, I think we've been really lucky to have a major donor who's actually given us that support to carry on with our work. Yes, it can be really disheartening because finances is a huge thing. We do have our fundraising events. We have our yearly golf tournament, which is due on 27th of July. We have our next, the movie, Men in Black, on Friday as a fundraiser. We have our charity walks, usually in the Karura forest.
So you've been having these charity walks.
Yes.
How many of them have you had so far since
We've
your
had
inception?
We've had one.
One.
We're
You've had
planning
one.
another one
Okay.
later
This year.
Okay.
And
So it's already happened already?
yes, it has. Yeah, so we have to organize events as well to raise the funds. But the donors as well, we get a lot of support from overseas. Like the dispensary, we've been, God has heard us and sent us a donor from the States who has, given us money to start off with the dispensary. So word of mouth as well. And I think generally we've been lucky with our friends and family who've come to our rescue. But definitely if we need to spread our wings, we need support from other charities or other individuals or corporates who can really make life a bit easier and reach out to more people.
And what about people maybe who are not, they might not be able to support you in kind, but they have their time to really expend their energy in your project? How do they get to you?
We've got all the information on www.amaratrust.com. We have an office which is being sort of donated by two of the trustees' husbands. It's at Avocado Towers, 5th floor. So they can get in touch there.
So what sort of services then can I give? Is there gonna be a teacher, a doctor, the
Yes,
dispensaries?
there's teachers, there's doctors, dentists are most welcome, opticians, any kind of service that they can give really. We have various people who'd like to donate textbooks. There are some who would like to donate toys, clothes.